Hello, and welcome to Black to the Future. Today is Saturday, May 11th, and we are about to begin the weekend prep video. As you can see, on Monday, there is no red folder news. Tuesday and Wednesday, we definitely need to be paying attention. Don't be surprised if the market wants to go up a little bit more on Monday and Tuesday, or go up on Monday, maybe consolidate on Tuesday, waiting and anticipating what the Fed has to say on. Oh no, he speaks on Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday. So Tuesday is a big day. So Monday, the market could either go up or it can consolidate, and then Tuesday, we're anticipating what the Fed has to say. Everybody is waiting to see when the rate cut is coming. Right now, analysts are projecting that September is a rate cut. So that's what people are waiting on. That's like the main thing. They said that this week advanced because investors were basically anticipating the rate cuts to be announced as far as September. People are waiting around September to see. So that's that. Some things that you may want to pay attention to. Taking a look. Boeing, of course, has a lot of issues. I would keep my eye on Boeing. BA is the ticker. Disney, it recorded its worst session in 18 months and it slid down 9.5%. That may be an opportunity for you to purchase shares. If you're interested, they do pay dividends. So, my focus is if the market is pulling back, which I think is going to fall. I've always had that stance. If it's going to fall, along the way, I will be picking up shares of only uh, companies that pay out dividends. All right, make it worth your while. Also, keep in mind that still next month, Chipotle is doing their 50-to-1 split. They don't pay dividends, but they are very high, like, the stock price. And I do think that it will go up again. I'm not sure if it will go that high because right now it's like $3,000, but that's something that you may want to pay attention to. Um, chips are like the biggest thing right now. Of course, TSM jumped. They had some type of news. I think they were working with I think they were supposed to be working with Apple. So they did jump last week, but of course the chips is something that you want to focus on. Avgo, Nvidia, TSM, Intel, all those different semiconductors, or you may want to look into the ETFs to find your way, whether you are picking up shares or you're doing options. I would definitely pay attention to that as well. As you can see, so only red folder news on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we also need to go over to the earnings and see what's going on. What I would be paying attention to. I would say maybe Tuesday, maybe Home Depot. Mm, Wednesday, I don't see anything. Maybe Cisco. Thursday, Walmart. John Deere on Thursday. And that's about it. It's a light week for earnings. So those are just some of the things that you may pay attention to. Novavax jumped last week as well. May want to pay attention to that. I'm not sure if it's going to drop because it has a major gap. And I'll show you that now. Because we all know that Novavax basically fell. It fell after COVID. You remember it was one of the last of the COVID stocks that kind of did get approval to make COVID vaccines. And now everybody is kind of against the COVID vaccines. They don't care. All this different news is coming out saying how, you know, it causes all these different diseases and harming different folks. So now people are not really putting their efforts into anything that's dealing with COVID vaccines. So now the big thing is weight loss. So now these companies are trying to find their way to see how they can get sales by selling something like Ozempic, something similar to it. So weight loss is a major thing. So if you are in if you're focusing on those companies that used to make COVID vaccines, and some of them are creating COVID and flu vaccines mixed in together, you may want to pay attention to that. But other than that, the weight loss is like the major thing. So NovaFX, I'm going to show you, they had earnings. It jumped. It had to jump because it was so low. Okay. As you can see, it was down here at $4. It jumped because it had some type of merge with some company, starts with an S. I want to say like Sanofi or something like that. And now we have this major gap. So one of two things can happen. If you take a look at it, you could just see that this is an area of resistance, right? You can see that it has tried to get above this range before, and it has not been able to do it. I will go to the weekly chart to see, okay, it's now time that it needs to actually come up here and test the 200 moving average, but I still wouldn't hold my breath on that. This level right here is support. I put an alert here, right? So you can get an alert. If it breaks above this, then you would kind of expect it to come and touch the 200. All right. If you don't, and it starts to drop, I'm gonna put the alert right here on this level of support where it has been before, right? It may continue to break down, but I would definitely still anticipate this gap being closed. All right. We want to drag this over. Maybe price stops here first before it drops down, but this gap does need to be closed at one point in time. All right. And you have other gaps as well. So if it continues to go to reach the 200 on the weekly, we can't not just ignore these gaps that need to be filled. So we go back here. You see those gaps. You see price needs to touch the 200. You see the volume is there. On Robinhood, it was saying that this stock was very volatile. So there's a lot of people putting their money into this, right? So that may be a good one. And it's cheap. That may be a good way for you to get some contracts. Make sure that you do your top-down analysis. You understand everything that's going on. You're looking for divergence. You're understanding the market structure, the market trend, right? And just wait for it to happen. All right, so let's get into the futures market. Tell you what I see. I'm going to take this off. Let's start all over. This down here, I'm not touching. I'm leaving that as it is, but I will kind of update where price is now. So you have a better understanding when it comes to my gaps. previously, especially if they're not closed. I want to kind of keep my eye on that. Because at some point price has to drop and hit those gaps, and I don't want to miss it. All right, so my levels are support and resistance, right? So level of support, level of support, level of support, level of support. Those aren't going anywhere. But what I will change on a weekly basis is what's going on at the top. So what do we have here? We're on the weekly chart. We see that price just continues to go up and up. It pulls back, goes higher, pulls back, goes higher. But the volume is low. The volume is low. It just showed that green just showed up on a weekly chart. Okay. The volume had to slow down. People had start pulling their money out of the market because the Fed is dragging its feet on discussing when there is going to be a rate cut, because that's what everybody is anticipating. However, he has already stated that he's not going to be doing any rate cuts until he see that inflation is consistently slowing down, and it's not at this point. It's kind of reaccelerating, and that is a major concern. We have geopolitical, things happening. We have an election that we have to look forward to. So there are a lot of things that is going against the Fed, especially his data, things that he based his data off of, CPI, unemployment. Things aren't just adding up, and therefore, and the market is showing that it's very resilient and strong, as they say. And so he can't cut rates at this point. And he has already promised that he, in the beginning of the year, there was 3 rate cuts. Now we know that information has changed. He already said at the next meeting that he was not anticipating a rate cut. So now people are saying, okay, maybe September, but we are, pushing the deadline back further and further as we go. So that's what's going on, basically. Okay. So when we go to the daily chart, we see that basically price came down. It didn't touch the 200 this time. It touched it the last time. It just basically pulled back, and now it's going again. The volume seems like it's growing. Okay. It looks like this was a double bottom. Okay. So now we are about to hit a level of resistance again. We need to know, are we going to break through that level of resistance? Are we going to break through? Or are we going to get up here and reject it and come back down? And then if we do reject it, then we may have a possible double top here. Okay. If we do have a double top, you should anticipate the price come down to touch this 200, this blue line. So wherever the 200 is at that point, understand that it's going to stop. Price will come up, start working its way down. You already have a sell signal here, right? And so it's gearing you up. Right now, price is going up. The volume is not as strong, so it's slow. So don't be surprised if price, it's just inching its way up here, just so that it could turn around, do a double bottom and fall, especially with bad news from the Fed, more, issues with Israel. There are different invasions that they got going on, Rafah, Gaza, Hamas issues, Ukraine. We steady sending money over there. But don't be surprised if things getting, shaken up. We have gaps that need to be filled. Okay. Gap there. Put a gap here as well. Let's put a gap. So market structure. Market structure shows that it is still going up. So higher highs, it pulled back, it came down, it went up, it came down, it didn't break. So until price comes down and break here, then that's when we know that the market structure is heading this way down. And now we're doing, let me see. Lower lows, okay? So we are waiting for that. But right now, if, and let's put a, and it kind of already broke it. So if it goes, so don't get tricked out either. If price goes above this blue line, now we're heading back up as far as market structure. Say come up a little bit. Then what it's gonna do is head down. It ain't gonna come all the way down, but it's gonna come down. Then it's gonna still work its way up some more, higher highs. Okay. So those are your scenarios. Make sure that you change your candles to lines to kind of see where things are. All right. You can see that candle is not strong, so don't be surprised if it rejects. But definitely if it breaks, then we know we're heading down and the market structure is changing. And that's very important because you want to know what direction it's going. Now, I told you guys last week that it was going to go up based off of the 2 for 2 strategy that I taught. You can see that. I'm not going to I'm gonna just point it out where I showed you the 2 for 2. Got 2 there. Well, it's not cooperating, but this area here, and then it went up. Now it didn't go up drastically, right? So you may not know, but at least you knew what direction was going based off of this. So now I would pay attention, right? Is it going to reject this area? Am I going to get candles that show me 2 for 2 heading down with the market structure break? Understanding that the market structure is up, the trend is up. You got to also understand that price will go up, it will come down. If it doesn't break this, then all it's going to do is bounce off of this and continue to go up higher. All right. And then you can also see here like a double top forming. Right. So don't be surprised if price goes up, reject this area, then start working its way down. Also, you can start seeing here that there is divergence. This is like going across, this is going all the way up with the anticipation of it falling. Okay. The way that it's so choppy, I wouldn't suggest putting a fib on this, but what I would suggest is boxing in price. Right. What you can do is here. When price gets back here, put an alert there. I want to keep an eye out on it because either it is going to come down and test this 50 moving average and bounce up, or it's going to break through based off the volume. You can see the volume is consolidating right now, so it hasn't made a decision on where it wants to go. And it probably won't. It probably will consolidate some more. or go up like inches way up. Like you see how this is all choppy, and then you have these smooth moves. You probably won't get a smooth move till Tuesday because they're anticipating the Fed, or maybe sometimes the market does this thing before the Fed says anything. So I don't know. It's tricky. It always is, right? But you have to be patient and wait. Just set your alerts and wait for it. So that's what's happening on ES. Um, let's go over here and see what's going on. Let's go over here and see where things are. So if you're in the course, you know exactly what this is. You know about the levels, and how this can assist you with making a decision. Hold on, this is the wrong. All right, so here. All right, looks like this is a long, right? Yep. On the 1 hour. Look at that. It gave you a level 4, and you just could have rolled this thing all the way up, all the way from back here. Right? So a strong level 4. Let you know that the market was going to go up. Based off of that, based off of the 2 for 2 that I told you about, that would have got you in a nice position just to, get in a position go long. So let's see what's going on with NQ. You see all this choppiness, and it was major swings too. That's why I told you guys last week to be patient, especially the ones in my course, in the members only course chat. Told you guys to be patient and wait, because look at the volume here. So it's a lot of manipulation because there's not even anybody really trading, and then you have these large swings going back and forth. So you're thinking one thing, and this is how you lose money, because you think that people are entering the market, but the volume clearly shows you that it's not there. So it's a lot of manipulation at this point. You see a lot of wicks, and those are the times where you don't want to trade. And if you are trading, you need to trade small contracts. If you just can't help yourself, you need to paper trade or small contracts, but you still need to be careful on what's going on, because you can get caught up. And as you can see here, it looks the same way. It looks like it's heading up to be like a double top. It's inching its way up. The volume is not there. That shows you that this is a fake move. Not only that, but you had this major drop. You know that once you get this major drop, it's always followed by 3 candles that work its way up, and then generally or usually it turns around. All right. But then you have the 2 for 2. The 2, and it continues to go up. So it may still, it's just, once again, it's one of those tricky things. This is your level of resistance. I'm gonna mark that. So volume definitely slowed down, which we expect, because NASDAQ has just been on a run. So at some point it has to slow down and pull back. Market structure, same thing. It came here, broke. Then it started to work its way back up. Here, broke, but we still in a sell, right? So this is what another reason why I just think that based off of the volume, based off of this sell signal, I just feel like price is going to turn around based off of the wicks, right? It's just inching its way up just so that it falls, especially if the Fed still says, says nothing that the investors are wanting to hear or anticipating. So you want to be careful. So the market structure is still currently up. Down, down. Yep. Is currently up. The market trend is up, but you see these two moving averages together. Very choppy. Hour chart consolidation, low volume, not really there. And it started Monday. So all of last week, it was low, really. Okay. You're going to do anything, you can box and price and wait. But the volume definitely has to pick up in order for you, for me to jump into market. I don't know about you guys, but I would definitely proceed with caution. The volume has kind of been the same, but it's still low. All right. So here, no fib move. No fib move. Levels of support. Strong level. Also look like a possible cup and handle. You remember those chart patterns are never really like, you have to see it for yourself. You can't really think that it's just gonna give it, like, be a given and give it away. Right? Pull back, take off. What you worry about is a takeoff. Because if it continues to inch its way up with all this choppiness, all it's gonna do is drop. You can see still divergence, which lets you know it's going to drop. The volume lets you know it's going to drop. The divergence, this is going straight across on the RSI. This is going up. Does not match. The volume doesn't match. So you got to be careful. Let's take a look at Russell. Russell 2000. Has some things set up there, so I'm going to leave it. We all know that it's been in this area for a while. Thought it was going to break out. It came up to this area of resistance and dropped. Tried it again, dropped. It's looking like it's going to attempt again, but you can see the volume is not there. So while it's inching its way up, don't be surprised if you come up in this area again and drop, unless the volume picks up. I got way too many alerts here, so let me take this off. All right. This is a cup and handle working its way. It's very, very choppy. Daily chart, daily. We don't have any 2 for 2s going on right now. Consolidation, move from side to side. See, I have a alert if it goes up in this region. I have alert if it breaks the 50. I have a trend line. If price breaks the 50 and hits this trend line, then it's possible that it's going to come back down into this area. Okay. Volume is low. Small candles. Cup and handle. Right. So this is the cup. It pulled back. It took off, but it's not taking off with volume. So things are very slow. People are really managing what they put in and how much they putting in. And there's also a lot of manipulation going on. So, when you do get these big candles, they follow by, it look like two candles follow each other. You get a move and then it push it back down. You get a move, push it back down because it's not real. So up here you didn't get. You gotta move and then it just consolidated. Keep in mind where the RSI is, what price is on the RSI. Is at a low? Does it need to come up? Look for divergence. Okay. We'll do CL. I'll probably do one or two stocks. And then it's up to you to take this information and apply it to whatever you are currently looking at. Make sure that you're not jumping all over the place when you are trading. It's good to kind of key in and focus on one thing, perfect it, and get comfortable with it. And give it some time, because it may be doing some things that you are unaware of you never experienced. But if you go to look at something else and you're trading something else and you're not, really paying attention to the one stock that you always do, and it's doing something different at that time, then when it's time for you to jump back over there to that stock and you can't catch your rhythm and you trying to figure out, well, what happened? It's because you left and you wasn't paying attention and you wasn't, really focusing on that anymore because you went somewhere else. So I try to make it simple. I just try to focus on, one thing. Every now and then I'll go to two things, especially if something's not moving. If it's not giving me the move that I need, because you shouldn't be trading all day. Should be able to trade and just, 1 to 3 times and let that be that and go on about your way. But CL, it's not really doing nothing. It looked like it just rejected this level and is working its way back down. It looks like the volume for the bears are picking up. You have this line right here, trend line. If it breaks, maybe hitting down. Right. At one point, I thought that this was going to be a double bottom, and it's still possible. Right. Because it doesn't have to be a perfect. This is what I thought. But as you can see, once it got in this area here, it rejected and came down. So now you're trying to see what it's going to do, if it's going to break. Let's see what the market structure is. The market structure is down, right? Came here, pulled back, broke up, started working its way up, didn't get no higher, came here, broke right there. Once it got under the 50, now the market structure is down. Okay, so the market structure is down. So you should be looking for puts. You're just trying to find the perfect timing. The market structure is down. The trend is down. Now you're looking for any divergence. You understand that this is oversold. So you're looking to see when price is going to turn around. It's not shaded, so you still got some time. You can also see that this was trying to do a cup and handle situation, right? It was trying to do this, but it rejected on the 200 and fell. So don't be surprised if it still may try to do that, right? But don't be surprised if price comes down, touch this trend line, and then try to work its way back up again, right? But right now, everything is pointing down. It's pointing down as far as like a sell. Let me take a look for the 2 for 2. It's coming. So if you know that strategy that I taught last week and you're in the class, then you already know that this is setting itself up for the 2 for 2. You look at the daily, it's there or almost. Okay. Also, let's see. Broke, yeah, when it broke here. All right, so my eyes would definitely be on oil. And when price touched here, okay. Market structure is down, trend is down. It's rejecting the major moving averages. So I will put here, you see that it's a strong level of support. I will also put an alert here when it enters. Now I kind of have an idea, wait for the pivots to come up for that particular day. Breaks the pivot, you go. This was a sloppy double top. Okay. So all the signs are there. You should be looking for puts as of right now. And then let me see the RSI on the 4 hour. Yeah, still got time to go. Right. So let's move this up. Major rejection here. All right. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a look at the video on what I'm focusing on. So make sure that if you're paying attention to other stocks, that you are doing, you're understanding the same way that I'm going to break this down is how you should be analyzing every stock as well. Let's see. Okay, so where we are looks like a possible double top. The volume is growing, but it doesn't match the candles. So that's why I don't think, and we got a sell on the weekly. So if we got a sell signal, it's just a matter of time. Right here, so it went down, came up. So my focus would definitely be on when price gets here again, because now it's breaking the market structure and it's going to head down. All right. So until then, don't make no real moves. Let me see. I'm gonna take this one out of here actually. And bring this over. This is where it bounced off from. Okay. Daily consolidation. And it's because you don't see gray here, it's just a range. It's been in a range. You have a buy signal here, but on the weekly, you have a sell signal. So eventually what's going to happen? Let me see. Do I got a 2 for 2? Got a 2 there. Over here, you got a 2 for 2? Yeah, you got 2 for 2. But as you can see, like I said, the volume doesn't support it. So I will put an alert here. If price reaches there, volume picking up, then it may be a buy. But right now, it doesn't look like it. You got gaps that need to be filled in here as well. Volume is slow. Look, this price going up, but the volume is going down. It's just showing you it's not a real move. So this just actually may be a double top. I will also put a alert here on the 50. So when it breaks, maybe it comes up here, rejects, start working its way down. You get an alert that it's about to come past the 50. That's when you really start, paying attention and looking. Starts to drop some more. Maybe you get a 2 for 2. All right. So the market structure, there is none. The last market structure was up. Now it's consolidating. So is it consolidating to go up or is it consolidating to drop? So right now this is a stage 3. Market trend is up, but it's still in a range. So this should not be anything that you are trading. You're supposed to be waiting. You see here, level of support. Price keeps coming back to this area, right? So I actually want to move this. No, I'm gonna leave it where it is. Put there, put here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it where it is. Understand you got gaps that need to be filled. I told you. Okay. So once price breaks the 50, maybe you'll go to. All right. What I also want to do is put a trend line here and see these points that meet. Right click, hit add alert. I want to know when price is crossing down. Right, because if price comes back, it can automatically bounce off of here and keep going, or it can break through. Either way, make sure you pay attention to the volume. Pay attention to divergence in the 2 for 2. Right. So you should be kind of well prepared for next week. Kind of just sitting on your hands because everything is just fake right now. Make sure you pay attention to bar chart too to see what the volume is on certain assets that you're trading to support it. Go over here, use your levels. You have a whole bunch of stuff that kind of help you make a decision on, okay, is this the best move? Especially over here. If you think that you are supposed to be getting in for a long and the level doesn't support it, like it shows a 0, no, don't do it. It's just fake. It's a fake move. Okay. So hopefully you guys have a great trading week, trading journey. I will talk to you guys next week as well. All right. Let's make some money. Let's sit on our hands and be patient as well. Have a good one, guys.